December 24th, 2017, the Tennessee Titans defense was helpless as Todd Gurley just torched them for 276 yards and 2 touchdowns. Christmas Eve massacre, the exclamation point on a season where Gurley was the most dominant offensive weapon the NFL has seen in years. Fans, analysts, and even players agreed this wasn't just the best running back in football, this was going to be the next great NFL legend. The Rams thought so and rewarded him with the $60 million contract, the highest for a running back in NFL history. It was supposed to be the beginning of a dynasty, but instead was the beginning of the end. So what the hell happened with Todd Gurley? How did Todd Gurley go from an MVP level superstar to completely out of the NFL before his 27th birthday? Tragic rise and fall of Todd Gurley. Gurley wasn't just a good football player, he was built for it. Born in Baltimore but was raised in Tarboro, North Carolina. He was a 3-sport athlete with football, track, and basketball. When I say track, I mean elite level. This dude ran a 4.3 40-yard dash in high school and even competed internationally in hurdles. The man had Olympic speed, and he paired that with NFL level power. It didn't take long for Todd Gurley to get the attention of a lot of elite programs. So when he arrived at the University of Georgia in 2012, it took him all but one game to announce himself to the world. With 100 yards, 2 touchdowns in his debut. By the end of the year, he had over 1,300 yards and 17 touchdowns as a freshman. That was better than Herschel Walker's first season. Georgia fans knew they had something special. But then the first red flag appeared in 2014.
MRI confirmed he won't play the rest of the season with a torn ACL. He had just returned to the team after sitting out 4 games.
Gurley tore his ACL, which was a devastating injury, but the NFL scouts didn't care. His tape was too good, modern medicine was too good, evolving to solve these kinds of issues. So despite the injury, the Rams took him 10th overall in the 2015 NFL Draft. And it didn't take long for them to realize they made the right call. Week 3 of his rookie year is really when Gurley got going. He got his first start, and the NFL wasn't even ready. 146 yards against the Cardinals, then 159, then 128, then 133. In his first 4 starts, he had over 100 yards in each of them. He wasn't just great, he was box office television. But there was just one problem. The Rams sucked. Jeff Fisher's offense was a disaster, the O-line was a mess. The opposing defenses knew they just had to stop Gurley. He finished the year still with 1,100 yards, 1 offensive rookie of the year, but the Rams went 7-9. And then the next year got even worse. The Rams finished dead last in total offense. Gurley went from 4.8 yards per carry down to abysmal 3.2. People started questioning if he was a one-year wonder, but then came Sean McVay. McVay turned the Rams from the worst offense in football to the best offense overnight. And no one benefited more than Todd Gurley. The man put up 1,300 rushing yards, 788 receiving yards, and 19 total touchdowns. An absolute electric year. He wasn't just running, he was catching screen passes, torching defenses as a receiver, and putting up rushing numbers that rivaled geek Adrian Peterson. The Rams went 11-5. Gurley won Offensive Player of the Year and finished second in the MVP voting behind Tom Brady. At just 23 years old, it seemed like he was on pace to be a future Hall of Famer. One of the best to ever do it. The Rams had their superstar, their franchise player, and in 2018, it got even better. Well, until it didn't. 2018 started just like 2017. Gurley was unstoppable. First 13 games, he had 1,800 total yards and 21 touchdowns. The Rams were 11-2. He was still the guy until week 14. Gurley tweaked his knee against the Eagles. He missed the last 2 games of the regular season, and the Rams kept saying it was just soreness. Then the playoffs started, and something was off. The Rams made a historic run to the Super Bowl, but in the NFC Championship game against the Saints, Gurley only got 4 carries. 4. And in the Super Bowl, he barely played. The Rams scored 3 points, and goes down as one of the worst offensive performances in Super Bowl history, until Patrick Mahomes took that title this year. And still, they lied. McVay and Gurley both said he was healthy, but we all knew the truth.
You'll be back next year ready to go? We'll be good. All right, cool. You're the man.
He wasn't, and a few months later, it was confirmed. Gurley had arthritis in his knee. A degenerative condition. There's no fixing it, no surgery, no rehab. His career had a ticking time clock, and we didn't know it. The Rams, now knowing Gurley was damaged goods, started limiting his touches. In 2019, he had just 850 yards, still solid, but he wasn't special anymore. The burst, gone, explosiveness, never heard of him. And then just 2 years after making him the highest paid running back in NFL history, the Rams cut him. Just like that, no trade, no big farewell tour, the man who carried their offense was discarded like he was nothing. He signed with the Falcons in 2020, had a few moments, actually had 9 touchdowns, but it was obvious he was done. By 2021, no team even wanted to sign him. Todd Gurley, at 26 years old, was out of the NFL. So what happened to Todd Gurley? Well, he's actually at peace with it. He openly said he had 0 regrets, that he was never crazily obsessed with football like people thought he was. He likes focusing on real estate, business ventures, and ultimately staying healthy. Todd Gurley's fall was sudden, but his impact to the game was so real, and for a brief moment, he was the best running back in the league by far. But his story is also a brutal reminder of how quickly the NFL moves on, especially when you're a running back.